your Spaceship Music Collective. This is Six Set Bro, a misguided adventure through the social fringe of the music industry. I'm your host, Don Maple. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Six Set Bro Live. We're live, and it's a music and entertainment podcast. I'm Don Maple. I'll be your host, as always, and I am joined by the illustrious, majestic, my brother, Money Mike. That was like a grand unveiling.
I was a little bit worried there because I wasn't on screen. I'm like, are we having technical difficulties?
We're always having technical difficulties at all times. And I am also joined by the one, the only sexual Nandez.
Hello.
I feel like we needed some sexy music there or something to kind of amp that up a little bit.
No.
You know, I used to have sexy music, and I don't know what I did with it. I don't know what I did with it. I used to have it.
Got pushed for a very much more important sound effect.
Yeah, probably for this.
Crickets.
Just whenever we want to party, that comes on. I'll eventually replace it with Kanye doing "He does miracles on me. He does miracles on me," or whatever. Yeah. So, jam-packed show. Can you guess we're gonna talk about Kanye West? We always do. We always do whenever he doesn't even have anything coming. But you know what? There's other stuff too. There's other reasons to be here. We are gonna chat about STENDHAL Festival, the part 2, the sequel to STENDHAL Festival 1. It's coming up in August here. Scratch My Progress, live stream from a band in Belfast, NI Music Prize, and of course, Mr. Kanye West.
What the fuck was that, Kanye?
But I suppose we'll start the show, because I don't like to get depressing at the end, so we'll start at the beginning. The news that's pretty fresh today is that the drummer, mostly known for being the drummer of Slipknot, Joey Jordison, has passed away. And I just found out the news this morning. As of yet, I don't think there's that much information on like what has happened, other than that he died in his sleep. No, I don't.
Do you know what age he was? Because I only seen the headlines. I didn't actually.
It's like mid-40s. Mid-40s.
Right.
He's
yeah,
not.
So
like,
he's a young guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, saying that, people who are big-time Slipknot fans will probably know a lot more about Joey Jordison than I do. But what I remember and what I hear is that he was a bit crazy, I think, with the old. I mean, they're a metal band, they do the drugs, they do the alcohol, so I don't know.
Stereotype.
That's what they do, man. That's what they do. But yeah, I mean, God, I'm not saying anything. The man just died. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he had like a disease that he knew of or that anybody was aware of or anything like that, so I don't really know what happened, but something caused him to die in his sleep. And what's really weird? I don't know if you guys would remember this. Maybe the age difference is a little bit too much there, but like, I remember, I think whenever I was in school, there was this weird time whenever everybody thought Joey Jordison had died previously to this. Like, I mean, years ago, obviously. I was still in high school, but
like
was.
I maybe did hear something
I think
about
there was
that.
like
another one of those like urban rumors, like urban legend things, like what do you call them?
Kel from Keenan
and Kel and stuff. Yeah,
And a car crash or something.
Yeah, what was that about? Why does everybody think that he's alive? Kel's alive. God damn it, he's just not doing stuff anymore. Is the issue. But But yeah, no, I actually think there might have been like a false report that somebody thought that he had died. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But he's gone now, unfortunately, and he was. I mean, I was always a big Slipknot fan. I actually weirdly just started like super getting into them just at the end of last year again. I don't really know what happened, but I just went on this weird Slipknot bender. Like I was 14 again. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, man, I used to love those guys. And I mean, it's always sad, like in our lifetime of having these people that we grew up with in these bands. I mean, like this happened. You got Mark Hoppus from Blink has got cancer and he's going through chemo at the minute. It's just so weird seeing all these guys dealing with these health conditions like later in life because they're getting older, you know. But
yeah,
anyway,
it's that weird thing. Like, I mean, like you see them as like rock stars and indestructible, and as you say, like you grow up with them and stuff, and then it just kind of is like, oh, well, yeah, real people, you know.
Yep,
same
real
thing
people
can happen to them as anyone else.
Yeah.
I seen that you were saying about Mark Hoppus there. I didn't click into the news story and stuff, but apparently there was something up about he's played bass again for this first time since he's had his treatment or something like that. So
I think it was on Twitch, on Livestream on Twitch. I haven't actually.
There has been. I think he said something about like the treatment is as positive as it could be at the minute and stuff. That it's going well, but obviously, like I mean, he's still fighting through that.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think the scary thing is I've seen him put up one day where I'm just like, this is nuts. Is like, you know, he's been very open about it on Twitter, and he's kind of like, you know, I hope people are okay with me being open about it. It seems to be helping some people. It's definitely helping me, but it's like, you know, I'm shit scared. I have like a meeting with a doctor in like 2 days' time that is essentially going to tell me if I can live or if I'm going to die. And there's just not like, you know, there's no way to really explain how surreal that is that you know it's coming.
Yeah.
But obviously he had that meeting and it seemed like good news. So he's just still working away. Although he started a garden, like to keep himself busy, because he, like, I think with, you know, not just the cancer but with COVID as well, and then the fact that he's even more vulnerable than he would have been, like he really has to stay inside, plus he's super like weak and can't really do anything. So he started just doing bits in his garden, and he started a garden of mutated plants to be like him with his mutated cells. And I was like, oh man, that's so Mark. So he has like all these really weird like cacti in his garden and that he started tending to, and it's just weird because he like tweets about it like all the time. He starts asking people for help as like if he's overwatering his mutated cacti. Just like, Mark, so funny, dude. He also changed his Twitter profile to just this horrifying photo of him that someone's done where it just looks like a mix match of his face, but he's like completely bald now, you know. He has no hair. It's like, I don't know, he always manages to find the humor and that sort of stuff, you know. But yeah, it's weird, I'm not even drinking tonight, but cup of coffee for Joey Jordison. Raise the glasses, gentlemen. Another one gone. Another great one. Did you ever see that time he filled in for Metallica for Lars?
No.
It's like,
no.
Something happened again. Look, I don't really follow either of those bands like that closely, but I actually seen this thing before, and then obviously like people have started sharing stuff like this again in memory of him, and I think there was a time something happened and Lars all of a sudden couldn't play at a festival, and Joey Jordison just jumped in and like played these Metallica songs like at the drop of a hat. Yeah. It's like how Travis Barker did that for Blink-182, but then it worked out so well that they were like, Scott, you're not playing drums anymore. Travis is in the band. You're out. But
and
yeah,
that's why everybody knows who Blink-182 are.
Yep.
Otherwise, probably wouldn't have.
He was a touring drummer for Korn as well. He done And he worked in the studio with them as well when
Yeah.
their other drummer went on hiatus.
Yeah, I think he worked with a bunch of people. Like, I mean, I always heard his name going around. Like, it wasn't just Slipknot, obviously, but yeah, he was a crazy good drummer and beat the shit out of those Skins. So, rest in peace, my man. Rest in power.
It'd always
as they
be
say.
when I seen I can't remember where it was, but when they put him on that machine that lifted up and then rotated him whilst he was playing the drums on the Slipknot concert.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, drummers love doing that. They love getting like
Tommy
stages that flip upside down and spin around. Travis does that too, and yeah, I don't know, fucking crazy. But anyway, in more positive news, we got STENDHAL Festival Part 2 Electric Boogaloo coming up. So I think you know what? Should have written the dates down. Should did it. No, it's the 14th of August, or it's that weekend, isn't it? 13th,
12th to 14th of August.
12th to 14th. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, so I mean, just to name a few off the top of my head, you know, artists that we really like that are playing this thing. We got Ferals, we got Roe, Cormac Neeson, Ryan McMullen, Duke Special's playing it as well. Man, there's a bunch of people. I don't know. You might have the lineup in front of you. Probably know more than I do. I'm just trying to remember. But yeah, it's. I think all those ones I named are actually all playing on the Saturday, the 14th, all on the same day, which is pretty good lineup to be fair. Because I would go and watch all those guys.
I'm just trying to.
how do you get in? Is there any? You need to show this to get in.
No, not yet.
So it's what?
Just
So it's not
tickets.
like Latitude Festival where they were like, if you got a COVID then vaccine.
Did they do that? I didn't even know that. I seen that Chatham were at Latitude.
But they're just
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
nah, just go in.
As far as I know, there's nothing like. I don't think, anyways.
Yeah, you have the 12th to 14th. I just found the poster. Sorry, I was having the same problem as you the last time for the July dates, navigating the site to find where the poster was.
Well, that turned out to just be me being a dumbass. Is that what happened, Mike? Were you being a dumbass?
There was I think it maybe like cached the last time I was on the site, so I was still getting information about July. There's a drop down in the top right, which I was able to.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, nobody wants to hear about that. No, I just noticed a couple other big names on the top of the poster there. Asher playing that, and So I Watch You From Afar, Jealous of the Birds. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then yeah, I'm trying to. Gemma Bradley's in there as well. Sasha Samara too. I think that we've talked about Kyoto Love Hotel. Andy.
Oh,
Shout
very
out.
good. I'll
Dark Tropics, Joel Harkin. Flip. It's actually really decent lineup. It's pretty cool.
Noise.
Yeah, and then you were
Well,
mentioning Ferals as well and stuff there.
Yeah. So yeah, tickets for that weekend are up and it's fast approaching. So just thought I'd get the word out even more. So I still don't. You know, I talk about these things, but it's like I won't be there. Not. You know, I would like to be there, but I have work and I also am paranoid about COVID.
I
How long will it
100%
last?
would have, because I was actually pretty sore about missing the July one. But I am off that week in August, but I actually booked something else, not realizing I'm horrible with dates. So
Dude,
yeah.
dude, what are you gonna do? But yeah, STENDHAL 12th to the 14th of August. Get your tickets. Ferals, Road, Do Special, Cormac Neeson, Ryan McMullen, Jealous of Birds, So I Watch You From Afar, Ash.
So is it safe to say you're
they're all
not going
gonna
to
be there.
attend anything this year
Probably not.
or next year? How long's the paranoia going to keep going?
I don't know.
I'm keen to attend
I'm
the first
ready
thing that
to
I
go.
can. Yeah,
I wanna
I
get the
honestly,
fuck out of
it's,
being by
it's
myself.
just a scheduling thing with me. I am bad with calendars and dates and stuff. Didn't realize this was all going on when it was. Otherwise, I'd have had my ticket. 100%.
I don't know, man. I think with me, it's like, okay, baby steps, right? So, you know, like, first of all, it was like seeing family and you sort of build that up a little bit more. Then you see your friends every once in a while and then make that a bit more often. we, you know, our friend groups just started playing our weekly basketball game again because the gym's open. You know, just trying to get used to a normal social life again. But I just sort of know that I think if I was thrown into something as big as like a music festival, some people are like, oh, I would just like fully embrace it. I was like, I'd probably end up having a panic attack or something. Like, I think it would be too much too quick for me.
So, but like you're dipping your toe back in, would you rather go back to like a local indoor gig before an outdoor festival? I know outdoor festival there's more people, but like you can get away from people easier. Like you can keep distance easier than you could indoors. I suppose they're both going to present their own challenges in different ways and stuff, like if you're worried about stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because they both have separate problems. I don't really know. Whenever you said them initially, I'd be like, yeah, I'd probably do the indoor one quicker than I'd do the festival, but I don't know. I wasn't going to festivals before COVID.
Find the newest band on the scene and go to their show because it's likely to only have about 15 people spread out in the bar or something.
15 people.
We've all played those shows.
50 going on Facebook event. I feel like it's Facebook event dead now. Just, you know, it's just been so long since there's been an event on a Facebook page. It's like does not exist.
I'm thinking that myself, but I'm wondering, is it just like, is part of why Facebook seems dead to me at the minute because one of the only reasons I ever really used it was to keep in the loop with like the local music scene, and that has essentially been close to dead since lockdown, you know, because everybody's just doing stuff from the bedroom and like live streaming and stuff. It's like, is it actually going to become important to me again? This is what I have been wondering, because like I did use Facebook events a lot because it seemed to be the way that people promoted their stuff, and to me it was useful to find like really small shows that like you didn't know were going on. Like I had multiple things every single week, and you had your choice of stuff, like if you can make it like to pop down to. But I'm kind of worried if Facebook has died in that way for local musicians. It's like, where do you get all that info now? You know, I feel like it is going to be a problem.
Yeah. Sorry, Andy. I feel like I cut you off before. You were going to say something else.
No, I didn't. I said, oh, nothing. When Mike went, you know, bands have been doing bits and bobs, and I went, or nothing.
Or nothing. Correct.
But I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, are you gonna see like a resurgence of the use of Facebook? Because I feel like there's a lot of bands out there like me that only used it to promote music in the first place, and that's the like half of the reason that you were on it. So it's like, are people gonna drop back into that again, or has it just completely changed to you're probably gonna find about shows on like Instagram stories or something like that, but then there's no event, there's no reminder of a date, there's no calendar or anything that you can check.
I know. That's why I feel like Instagram can't work for that, but I suppose Twitter could. Like, just as in, like, you see whenever, like, say, Limelight or whatever, they post shows up on Twitter, and it's just, like, a list of them. It's easier to look at that way. Instagram is too fleeting, you know, with the stories and stuff, and if it's
Instagram
not on the stories, then you
on the viewer's memory, doesn't it? It's like, if you see something on a story, that's great, that's been promoted to you. Stories are quite good for promoting stuff to people, but then you were like, if it's a single, that's fine, they'll go and listen to it immediately if they're interested. But if it's a show that you're trying to tell them about in a couple of weeks, you're relying on their memory of watching like a 5-10 second video or something on your story,
or it's on the artist to post
constantly.
On the regular.
I don't know.
It's something definitely for the comments section for anybody that's listening or checks in later or whatever. It's like, how are you going to? It'd probably be quite a good discussion if we get like some various opinions from people that are listening. Like, how are you going to promote your shows whenever you get back to them again? Like,
I know.
Do you think it's valid to be pushing them on Facebook anymore? Or are you thinking like that's just it doesn't get seen anymore? And like, as you say, the problem with the Facebook event all the time was anyways that apparently like 50 to 100 people were going, and you were lucky if you got 10 sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
So like, did it even actually help you to push there? You know?
It's very hard because I mean, like, this is such a bigger topic, but I mean, if you think about the stuff that was useful for You know, if anybody's been in one of those events that have been set up, it's like usually the promoter will set up an event, and then like all the bands can be admins on it, so they can all invite people to it, and all the information is all in one place. And it was a simple way of doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, if everybody had Facebook, then there could be a group chat organizing like the lineup, and you know who's bringing what gear and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like
3-4 bands that could push out to all their separate fans, and then also the added benefit of someone who, fair enough, if they clicked interested just to be polite, but then some people were genuinely interested and didn't know, you had the added benefit of somebody getting pinged close to the event automatically by Facebook saying this event is coming up that you said you were interested in. You know what I mean? As a gentle reminder sort of thing. As like,
I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there's nothing like that. Like that's probably the best thing that Facebook still has. You know, it lost so many things that used to be good about it, but that and what it needs to be used for is still very useful. Which is, it's so weird that you talked about it, because like I've just been thinking that recently. Is like, you know, whenever I eventually am gonna release my second like full length LP, I'm like, part of me feels like I need to get Facebook back to promote it, because I only have it for my band page, but it's just, man, the reach is zero. Like, I mean, it's nobody sees what I put up. The band pages don't work, so it's like I would need to promote it through my own personal profile
page. But even that, well, it could be a mixture of me not using it anymore as well. I feel like even my Facebook posts are now just like a result of an Instagram post, if you know what I mean. I very rarely go specifically on there to post information, apart from like occasionally seeing like local music stuff and resharing that. Like I don't sit and type a post or upload pictures specifically to Facebook anymore is the thing. But like if there's any posts there, I think even on the personal page the reach seems lower than it used to be. But I don't know if that's like, you know, punishment, you know, the way these social platforms do this, punishment for not using it sort of thing. But surely they would go the other way. Oh, you've came back to start using it again. We're going to try and put it in front of more people's eyes. I don't know.
I don't know.
I love the enthusiasm to bring Facebook back, but it's never coming back.
No.
I mean, like, I swear to God, like,
enthused. I hated it. I did. I'm happy on Instagram is my jam personally. I have enjoyed that for quite a while, and I'm happy to just kind of be doing one thing, whether it comes to like just putting up pictures as a hobby, or like the very rare time I promote music. I honestly feel like Instagram. And only doing one thing and doing it well. We've talked about that before on the show as well. You know, as far as socials are concerned, I feel like that's definitely the way to go. That fits me personally.
I don't know, man. I just think Instagram's getting worse as well, because like
it's going.
No,
you're
starting to get like stuff that you don't follow at all. So it's just like, you didn't really get that before, and this was the problem with Facebook too. It's like pages I don't follow, but they can, I guess, pay and just like their feed posts. It's not the reels; it's just like the feed post is there, and I'm like, what the? I mean, I choose who I follow for a reason.
Is this like I hate that? Is this like the actual clearly sponsored post, or do you mean whenever you like? If you manage to get to the end of your feed, you get suggested stuff?
Yeah, I get suggested stuff now.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, and I just feel like, even though I follow so many people on Instagram, like, it's
you
just
shouldn't be able to get to the end of your feed is the thing, but you run out of stuff quicker, and it suggests stuff to you. That's a tweak that they've done, definitely.
It tries to tell you, like, what was that?
That was me accidentally hitting Instagram, somebody going live at exactly the same time, because it comes from the...
I just wanted to go on again. And then once you get to the bottom of the new post, then it just throws you into suggested. And if you wanted to actually see something that you seen like earlier that day, you have to go into the profile and find it, and then go to that person's feed.
It's not going to show you it in the same order again. Yeah.
A load of
if you have a new Google Pixel as well, the Pixel 5, that is especially annoying, because they don't have back buttons anymore. They use gestures, so you swipe in from the right-hand side of the screen to go back again. So imagine this whenever you're flicking through Instagram and somebody puts on a multi-post and you're trying to swipe through their posts, but you go too far to the edge of the screen and you
that's
hit back.
just stupid.
It just goes to the top of the feed and you've lost what you're looking at. It's happened to me like a billion times.
That's a dumb feature.
Don't buy a Pixel 5.
No.
Wait for the next one.
All right, moving on, switching gears. Scratch My Progress 2021, class of 2021. You know, there could be people watching the show who don't know what Scratch My Progress is. Very quick rundown is that it is a... I never know the best way to explain this, but it's like a... Would you say charity run, Mike? What way would you say this? Funded? Arts funded?
Yeah, it's funded. Yeah.
Arts funded sort of promotional campaign, sort of oh man, I had the word written down earlier. Like it's kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, who gave this guy a podcast?
It's like a
I think you're thinking of the same word, but we don't know what it is. It's like a
scheme.
No, it's like it's like a class, but I'm not looking for the word class. But it's like
talent development.
Development.
Talent development.
That's what I'm looking for. Development. That's it. I forgot the word development for a minute. Had a little bit of a stroke. It's a talent or an arts funded talent development scheme. Why am I? You know what? Am I the right person to tell you about Scratch My Progress 2021? No, I'm not. But I'm also the only person. If you're listening to this show, you ran out of options. So you're gonna have to put up with it. Scratch My Progress is a
look, there's Simon's trying to help out. Workshop, perhaps?
A workshop, an arts funded.
It's all right, Simon. We got it. Talent
development.
We got
thing
there.
thingamajig. Like pretty much what they do is they gather. You have to apply to it. You fill in an application, which is quite specific. I will not go into the details of it, but there's things such as you can't have released a full-length album. Your act has to be over a year old, but less than 3 years old or something like that. There's a lot of criteria, which you can find on the website for it, which it's run through OES Center. So if you go on the OES Center Facebook or website, you can find all this stuff. And you fill in an application, they go through it, and then they pick a class of so many acts, not very many, like I don't know if it's like 5 or 6 at a time or something like that. And they pretty much try and develop you into something. They give you studio time, they teach you PR skills, they set you up. I think you get slots for like sort of high tier gigs to try and push you on. They do a lot of things to try and develop you as an artist or a band.
And it's over a good bit of time too. You basically get industry support for, I think, at the very least a year, and it probably ends up ongoing after that because you make and build relationships with people in the music industry for Northern Ireland. So it's definitely worthwhile for any kind of, I was gonna say younger bands, but not even.
It doesn't even matter, yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's like usually, however many acts they pick are so diverse in sound and age and experience and everything else. It's like it's very much across the board. Doesn't really matter, but it's definitely it's the kind of support that a band would need to kind of like get up onto the next level, take a step up.
Totally. And I mean, just to give you an impression for any of these acts that you've heard of, these are previous graduates would be people like Careerist, Sister Ghost, Gender Chores, Joel Harkin, Gemma Bradley, Lemonade Shoeless. I mean, look at where a bunch of those guys are at. Some of them obviously have been in this many years ago and some just last year, but like Gemma Bradley is, she's doing amazingly well, like in her radio hosting abilities now. Like she's got into that side of things. Joel Harkin has been all over the place ever since that he was a part of that. Lemonade Shoelace, man, even talking about him, I kind of want to move on to something that he's got going, but I will finish this point and just say it's a really good opportunity, and if you can meet the criteria, I would highly recommend that you try and apply for it. It's very hard to get into as well. Yeah, so give it a go, man.
I would love to see some of the bands that we've been talking about recently on the previous shows. Like, I mean, even just last week, like Juan and stuff. Like, guys like this, it's like, go for that shit. Like, put the application form in. If you don't know exactly what you're doing, like, reach out to somebody. If you don't know exactly how to fill that form out, like,
totally.
Anybody in the music scene, like, do you have an idea or whatever? Like, hit somebody up on Facebook Messenger, whatever. Hit one of us up if you want.
That's what we're here for. Like, we'll help. It's fine.
We'll help us to the best of our ability. Like,
I'm not saying I can do it for you, but I can try and help you and explain what needs done.
Even
from a Zoom call.
The people
Not
that
in
work
person.
over Zoom, please.
The people that work in OES Center and stuff as well. You can hit them up and ask as many questions as you want to. Obviously, they're not gonna tell you how exactly they want you to fill it out or whatever, but they're easy enough to talk to and stuff. Like, if you send them a message if you're confused about anything on the application form,
I'll take it that it's going to be an in-person thing then.
No, so I read through it, and they
different.
said due to COVID, there will be a lot of workshops done through Zoom or whatever they use, Skype or I don't know.
Teams.
Yeah, Microsoft Teams. Nobody's fucking using that. Yeah, they said they do that, but they're like, there will also be times whenever wearing a mask will be mandatory and social distancing, and that would be the likes of the studio time and any one-on-one mentoring and stuff like that. So.
And then, as I said there, you get support for over a year, and nobody really knows what the next year is going to bring and stuff too. So, like, you could be back doing face-to-face stuff and having meetings with people and stuff as well. Yeah. Nobody really knows. And
that's one of the people that I was talking about there, a former graduate that we have kind of we've praised on the show not that long ago, is Lemonade Shoelace. Pretty. Sort of just came on my radar not that long ago, really, and he's doing like a live stream. I think this Thursday at 7 p.m. And he'll be performing with a full band, playing 4 unreleased songs, and selling limited edition shirts. Now the weird thing, I kept reading this. I was like, I can't tell if this is like total sarcasm or something, but it definitely seems like a legit thing. And he said it's gonna be at Bangor Courthouse, and I was like, what? Can you perform at Bangor Courthouse?
There's a whole thing going on.
Didn't know that was a thing.
Which I'm unprepared to go into, but there's like people involved in the arts there. I don't exactly know who. Again, very unprepared. They're trying to turn that into a venue.
Oh, right. That must be what
it's maybe already happened, but I remember hearing about this years ago. It's like all part of a thing to kind of revitalize like that marina area down there and stuff. They're trying to kind of like make it all vibrant again, and I think there's like plans to like add to that whole area down there. And the courthouse thing, I think, was part of that, as in like changing it into a gig venue. I hope I'm right in saying about that. This was a year, maybe 2 years ago. I remember reading about that sort of stuff, and I'm like, that sounds really cool.
I'm gonna check what the so if you wanted to watch this live stream, you have to go on a website called guesthouselive.co.uk, and I thought I would go on that because I didn't know what that meant before, but maybe that is the name that they're giving to musical acts in the courthouse. Could that be right? Guest house?
Possibly.
I've just
trying to see now
got
if there's any.
I just got a news story
Hold on.
here from December 2020. Iconic Bangor courthouse to be regenerated for the use of local community. So, I assume maybe that work is done then, if that gig's taking place there.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, they had another one there. It's like somebody brings their incredible live show to guest house. So I'm gonna
Maybe
guess
that's the
that guest
venue
house
name?
is. Yeah, the venue name. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
I think it was people involved.
I'm gonna say yes.
Open House Festival, which was like a festival that took place in Bangor. I think it was maybe them that pushed for this, and they went through like Department for Arts and Culture and stuff. Like I think it was all like government funding and all involved, like basically to try and like revitalize the area and stuff and bring like benefits to Bangor like community and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. It can be used for gigs, but then I assume it can be used for other stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean that's what it looks like to me. Sorry, I'm doing this live, trying to
I
find
know,
out for
yeah.
y'all live right now. I didn't know that until you told me about it, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Again, I'm reading through some headlines. I don't know when.
Oh,
this
we're
was
making
dated as
so
well.
many revelations tonight.
The National Heritage Lottery Fund has approved 850,000 grant for the restoration of the former Bangor Courthouse. That was
Damn.
talking about like phase 1. Again, there's no date on this news, but yeah. So this has all been going for a while. There's meant to be outdoor. Again, I don't know how much of this has been implemented or if it's changed since, but like outdoor event space and market stalls and everything as well.
Cool. That's pretty sweet, man. That's sweet. Well, there you go. We all learned a little something. Thank you, Lemonade Shoelace. You have helped us with that. But yeah, so live stream tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Nice.
You should go and check that out. Go guesthouselive.co.uk. And I think you do need to make an account with them, but then they stream it live on their website or whatever. Yeah, so I think what we will do is we'll do a quick commercial break, and then we're coming back to talk about that young man. You know one.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
I don't know how much input I'm gonna have on this.
Oh, man, you love it. You love talking Kanye news with me.
I don't.
Right, okay. We'll be back after this quick commercial toilet break. If you want to wrap your ears around all the music we've been talking about on the podcast, we run a special playlist over on Spotify. It's called Distant Sound Waves. Here over at Six Set Bro, we always thought, well, what's the gosh darn point of doing a music podcast if you can't let people hear any music? There is a whole lot of legal mumbo jumbo and copyright issues that prevent us from actually doing that on the pod. So we thought that was a pretty good compromise. We make a playlist and it gets updated every single month. On the playlist, we have things like all the new singles from local homegrown talent that we've talked about. Maybe some of the bigger artists that we've had conversations about, we'll put those guys on there. Or maybe it's just something new that we stumbled across and we've been talking about on the podcast. It is all there. You can find Distant Sound Waves by searching for it on Spotify, or you can find the links all over our social medias.
We are Year Spaceship, a music and arts collective for everyone. Created by these two little scamps who grew up in Scarborough, Ontario, moved to Belfast, started playing in bands, and met tons of super chill, talented human beings. They met this guy who grew up in Jersey and also moved to Belfast. They started a record label together. They started a podcast, and they started a collective dedicated to showcasing independent music and art from all over the planet. The Year Spaceship Collective is here to shout through the internet into the eyes and ears of anyone who will listen. We want to hear about your struggles, accomplishments, and latest projects within the art community. If you're a musician, artist, writer, director, poet, comedian, animator, whatever medium you work in, if you're expressing yourself, we want people to see and hear your world. We want your stories on our Instagram page. We want your music on our playlists. We want to talk to you on our Six Set Bro podcast. We want to showcase your content on our YouTube page. We want to build a community. The Year Spaceship Collective. Avoid conspiracy theories. Keep art strange.
Hey there, fresh-faced creative in a youthful advertising demographic. Does your reading material have a distinct lack of cultural nourishment for your slowly decaying, malnourished soul? Stop! Put that garbage down. Everyone knows you shouldn't get your news from old mediums like paper. That's 2/8th century. Plug into the information superhighway, loser, and read a zine. It's like a magazine, but without all that dumbass paper. Read Stranger Days, the arts and culture e-zine. It's got music, comedy, art, poetry, tarot cards, cinema, Year Spaceship, comics, podcasts, and Jim Carrey. Read Stranger Days now, because between you, me, and your trusty canine companion, we know fluffy cuddles and e-zines are the only way to push back the existential dread slowly consuming your every waking moment. Hold back the darkness today with Stranger Days. Available now at strangerdays.wordpress.com.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. That was a nice little break there. That was a nice break. So,
is it yeah, is it nay? Nobody knows it's yeah.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
let's hit it again.
Is it yeah, is it nay? Nobody knows it's yeah.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
What in the fuck was that, Kanye? What in the fuck was that? So, the story thus far. Kanye West said he was going to release an album called God's Country. Then, he was like, no, it's not called that. It's called Donda with Child. And then he's like, no, it's not called that. It's just called Donda now. Donda is the name of Kanye West's mother. She passed away in around late 2000s, like 2008, something like that. And it was unexpected. It was through anesthetic, I think, for plastic surgery. He's very close to his mother. It's always been an important part of his music. So this album being named after her, hugely important for him. So in amongst all this time, whenever he's like working on this Donda record, then artwork came out for it, but that doesn't seem to be the artwork anymore, because that just kind of disappeared at one point. Then the rumblings of the last couple of weeks, it's like, oh, he's doing something. Then he had a private listening party for the album, and then he had a public listening party for the album. New artwork came out. For some reason, the private listening party and the public one had different set lists, and it was meant to be the album, but there were two different sets of songs, so I don't really know what that means. And the public one was absolutely nuts, and I loved every second of it. It was Kanye in his red Gap jacket, all in red, and shoes, weird shoes that aren't really shoes, and like a thing of tights over his head. It was kind of the worst mask he's ever wore. It just looked like he was about to rob a bank. And he kept people waiting at the Mercedes Benz Stadium in Atlanta for about 3 hours, I think it was. He was very late. And only Kanye West, ladies and gentlemen, could arrange in 1 week to get a stadium full of people to just come and watch him be late and then just come out and stand there while his potential new album plays. He didn't do anything. There was no entertainment. There was no entertainment. He didn't sing anything.
No support acts. No,
Not
literally just people standing in the stadium, and
there
somebody
wasn't
play.
There wasn't even a backdrop. It was like a white floor on the stadium, and he just played it, and everybody fucking loved it. And that's Kanye West, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
So, last week we were speculating, because I believe it happened on the Thursday, the listening party. So we did the podcast on Wednesday. We knew the listening party was the next day, like at the Mercedes Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and he said the album would drop on Friday. You listen to that podcast, and so many times we had to like remind people and be like, look, just because he said it, it comes out on Friday, doesn't mean it's gonna come out on Friday, everyone. Like, is this your first time?
How long have you been listening to this podcast?
Is this your first time with Mr. West? So, as hopeful as I was, not surprised whenever midnight came around and it wasn't there. But, what are you gonna do? Now, the interesting part that's happened since then is that Kanye just didn't leave the stadium. Ever. So he performed there on Thursday last week, and he'd been living there ever since.
Performed.
What the fuck was that? Kanye?
He's living there. All right.
Yeah.
Mercedes Benz Stadium put a sign on the front that says it's the Donda studio now. I don't know who put that up. Was it you, Kanye? Was it them? I don't know. Are they just feeding into the publicity of all this? Who knows? But now it's apparently called the Donda Studio at Mercedes Benz Stadium. That's the official title.
King of marketing. Let me
Oh
tell
yeah,
you. That guy
for sure.
These crazy moves.
And
He's got
then
people talking.
Then after that picture went up, then there was video footage of him at a football game, like as in a soccer game.
Football. It's football.
Well, I know. I don't want people to get confused, Andrew.
We
We're
don't-
talking
we're
about
not-
the
we're not
states
getting
here.
confused.
We're talking about the states. They call things different things. Yeah, so he's just there and walking around still in the red getup, still with the mask on. And at that point, people were like, oh, is he still there? All right. Okay. And then just maybe yesterday or something, he posted a picture of like one of the locker rooms, and there's just like a bed in there. And, that's where he's sleeping. And he's just like finishing the album randomly in the stadium. There was so many memes going around about Mike Dean, because there's constantly just this joke about how like Kanye's just so like insane, and even though he's always been known as a producer, he just has like a load of scrappy ideas, like mental things all over the place, and then Mike Dean has to come in and just like piece everything together at the end, because he's a producer, if you don't know, very well known one. But like he comes in and he's like, I have to make something of this to fix this somehow. But then people started like putting up memes on Twitter of like Mike Dean being kidnapped by Kanye and being locked in Mercedes Benz Stadium with him, and it's like he's not allowed to leave and shit. Just him like going mental trying to fix this scrappy album and whatever the hell. But then Mike Dean just tweeted again, it was either today or yesterday, I forget when I seen him, but he was just like, I am not being held captive.
He felt that he had to
Yeah,
mark
he's like,
himself safe.
I just have to let people know Mike Dean is safe. Thank God. And so that pretty much brings us up to now. The only other thing was that there are 2 more listening shows now up that are going to happen on the 5th and 6th of August. And the reported new date is the 6th of August for the release of Donda. So that's where we're at now with all that.
Do you feel like maybe like he was sitting there in the middle of that stadium and he was like listening to a particular track or something? He's like, that kick doesn't sound quite right in these like massive stadium speakers that everybody else is going to be listening to this album on. I need to go back and fix that before I put it out.
Well, I don't think so, because the common criticism was that like people couldn't even make out half the music because the speakers were way too loud at the stadium. Because there's a very important part in one of the songs where Jay-Z had a verse. Now this is it's a huge deal, man, because like Jay-Z and Kanye, man, used to be so tight, like brothers, and then kind of had a big old falling out, which just happened on and off for a while. But I think the whole Donald Trump thing kind of was just like
Or it was Kim.
Or there was Kim too. I think
Strange, right? He splits
Yeah.
up from Kim, and Jay-Z does a song with him.
Weird. What's happening, Kanye, man? That's my Jay-Z. It's not very good. Oh.
And that Jay-Z apparently recorded it at like 4 a.m. or something.
No, he recorded at 4 p.m., but the show was at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, this was the listening party, so he did his verse at 4 p.m. and recorded it with him at the stadium, and then they played it for people.
The guitar on that song was like...
It sounds really good. But yeah, so what I was going to say there is like, it was a big moment because Jay-Z's verse entered, and so many people didn't even know it was Jay-Z at the time. Like, I think he was expecting an eruption of like people to go crazy, and people didn't even know because it was so distorted and loud they couldn't hear it.
But that's what I mean. I feel like he's like went, I need to go back and mix this for stadium speakers. It's like nobody's gonna be listening. Don't worry, Kanye. Nobody's gonna be listening to it through stadium speakers.
I don't even know if it's to do with the mix. The fact that he played 2 different track listings at 2 different events, I was just like, I just still don't think he's any further on of what he wants from this thing.
There's all sorts of rumors. I seen one the other day, which I can't even see it being true, but like that he wanted to wait to find out the date for Drake dropping new material and stuff as well. And on one side, I'm like, yeah, because everybody's hoping for new Kendrick as well. And the fact that like the top guys in the game right now, like if they all drop stuff at the same time, I feel like it elevates everybody's material to be out and competing against the best all at the same time. So I can see sense in that, but at the same time, I can't actually see him thinking that way or really caring. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I don't know, but they got beef, man. I think they're still on beef at the minute. Drake and Kanye.
I think they're cool.
You think they're cool now? I don't know. I feel like the way Ye did him wrong, and I don't think it's overly. Drake didn't seem like it was much of a forgivable thing. I didn't think he was gonna. He's not in like diss mode or anything. He's just kind of just like, yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with that guy anymore.
I think they're playing off each other. Drake has a date in a stadium. Kanye has a listening party in a stadium.
Yeah.
It's like the Oasis Blur thing. It's like everybody benefits to have an ongoing feud.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his whole problem was this whole. I mean, it's been going around ever since those Wyoming sessions and the whole Pusha T thing, and that Ye apparently told Pusha about Drake's son that nobody else knew about, and then Pusha T like brought out the story of Adidon and like pretty much told the world that Drake had a son to somebody that nobody knew about. And then on top of that, there was the whole thing where Drake went in and like recorded stuff for Lift Yourself, which he thought was going to be a song on the Wyoming album, and ended up just being that poopity scoop thing, which just felt like it was a whole like fuck you to Drake, is like to bring him in and then have that whole like, oh, this next verse, and then it's just like poopity scoop, scoopity whoop de poop. I was like, oh, dude, all right. So, and then I think the most recent was Drake had that line in that song from last year, I want to say, Laugh Now, Cry Later. And he's like, this is between us, it isn't a closable gap. And I was like, oh, about the whole Gap Easy thing. So I don't know. I don't know if they're still on beef or what, or whether it's media beef. Who knows?
There's too much money to be made for them to still cry about stuff.
There's always money to be made from beef.
That
sound like a butcher.
Welcome to the farming podcast.
Chloe and Kim and North right? That's one of the kids, right?
Oh
They were there, I think.
Yeah,
no,
so
they were
here
there.
there
They
was like
definitely were there.
there was like loads of pictures and video and everything, despite the fact that everybody was not meant to be able to get mobile phones in there, right? Wasn't that the thing? Or
No,
was
no,
oh no,
it
that
was
was just a
live
listening
streamed.
party?
Yeah, it was a
Oh,
live
Yeah,
right, okay.
yeah. It was
So
live
the live
streamed on
stream,
Apple Music.
the live
oh,
stream
yes,
sounded
sorry,
better
yeah,
than
yeah.
the obviously the people had
yeah.
Oh
two
yeah, because
different
they got
experiences.
they probably got the direct.
You couldn't really
feed,
hear the
yeah.
bass on the live stream, but you could hear too much bass.
Yeah, it
From
was
the stadium?
distorting everything at the
Yeah.
stadium. So I don't know. But,
And then, like, I think one of the reasons he waited was for nightfall, or that magic hour, as they call it,
I
for the
think so,
whites,
too.
for the white. And there was a 4K image on it, and I think it was the guy from that Red Bull jump
what was
from
this
the
on?
edge of space. Wasn't that on the floor? But the
Was
thing is,
it?
from the live stream, it was like
Oh, I couldn't even see
And-
it. It just looked white.
I
don't know. I know that the whole thing was in house. It is like the most, I don't know, like the cutest thing ever. Of like he opened the roof of the stadium so that his mom could watch down on it. Apparently, that's.
Or they go, "Hey, dude, it's still COVID. Can we open the roof?"
That's not as nice, Andy.
You wrecked it, Andy.
but it's
you
true, though.
wrecked it.
Nah, it was nice. That was nice. A nice moment. He was looking up. He was looking up to his mama in the sky. He does miracles on me. He does miracles on me.
That's just so dumb. So here are the people that I gave a shit about on that day that album was supposed to come out. Young Blue came out. Vince Staples came out. Child came out. IDK came out. Mariah the Scientist came out. Lil Nas X put a song out with Jack Harlow. Young Thug had a Tiny Desk. All of these things that artists do when they say they're going to do them happened. But no, Kanye's a brand. People, he has a following, like people follow Apple. Whatever he does, people
Doesn't matter.
jump off a cliff for that guy. He can bring out shite sneakers, shit clothes, make people wait for 3 hours to do a half-finished album one day and then do something else another day. Come up with this thing living in a stadium. Is he pulling a Bear Grylls? Is that really him in the stadium? Who knows? He's probably living in a hotel up the road. It's beautiful. Hold on. People go, Lil Baby's got too much auto-tune. T-Pain ruined music because of auto-tune.
I never said that.
Kanye West. No, I'm saying the general public, because there was a documentary called.
Everybody has an opinion. Shut your faces.
Yeah. Shut your faces, she. Yeah, I don't know.
Where's that fence? Oh, there it is.
He's done miracles on me. I can't even hit. Oh, where is he? He's done miracles on me. Man, it makes me want to go to church. Makes me want to get religious up in here. Yep. Okay, Kanye, we're done with you. I also apologize that if you're watching the video version of this for pretty much that whole thing, instead of having Donda update down in the corner, it said Lemonade SHOELACE live stream, and I was like, that's not what we're talking about at all.
You
He
give
was
yourself
in the
way too much
Mercedes
to
Benz.
do with these little, these extra.
This is like a new thing to so
wee
you know
news
what we're talking
scrolly
about.
stuffs.
A little news scroll. So switching to the next topic. And music prize, baby. So everything's in. You don't have a chance to apply to this anymore. That is over. They are trying to get all the eligible people, all the eligible songs, whatever, together for best single, best album. People have sent in their songs, like loads of different bands and stuff, and eligible list will be up very soon. I don't think they gave an exact date, but pretty much they give you the long list of everybody that is eligible to be on it, and then After that, it gets voted down to a shortlist, and then from there we get nominees. So, yeah, just a little update to say that is just around the corner, everybody. And music prize, it feels like it just comes up so fast every year.
They televise it? I can't
don't
remember
know.
if they televise it or not.
Well, I don't know
No,
what they'll do this year.
Streamed last year.
Yeah.
Remember we talked
Oh,
about
okay.
all that? It's like, are they going to do the streaming?
When
and stuff
I say
again this
televised, I
year?
don't mean actual terrestrial TV. That televised is
No,
now
but
on
it
the
should
YouTube.
be. It should be because there is a channel that covers a load of local music
NVTV,
stuff.
we got
NVTV,
UTV.
yeah.
You know, like
It
they
should be on TV. There's no
It should
reason
be on
that it
TV.
shouldn't be televised.
Come on,
Yeah.
UTV, get your.
I think if you
together.
put it on TV, you get less views, like actual TV. If you put it on the internet, you'll get more.
But at the same time, I feel like there's a certain audience here that would appreciate music that is made on their doorstep, but they're probably not YouTube users.
Yeah, they're
is
not
the thing.
looking
I
for
feel
it.
I feel like you could hit people that you could maybe get on board with local music. To me, there's
Who
no
are you
reason
not
why
gonna
it shouldn't.
hit in 2021 on YouTube?
I just think it's not the right. So
Or is
No.
it just the thing of being on a TV channel?
no, I think it's not just because it's TV, because I just think the two things
right.
it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, it's
but
like one and the same.
my thought about it is that the reason TV would help is whenever it's on YouTube, you need to already know about it to go and find it. Like, if it's just on TV, then you've got somebody just being scrolling through or watching TV on that night and being like, what's this Northern Ireland Music Prize?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be
Put it
here.
this way,
And then
you
they
could
pop
be
it on.
catching- Yeah. You
But,
could be catching 50 plus people who don't even probably know that there's like a Northern Ireland Music Prize, and then they tune in and they hear somebody. There's like loads of people like I know what you're saying. Like most of like a younger demographic is always going to be on YouTube, but that like there is listeners on there, and there's acts in Northern Ireland that like appeal to age groups across the board. Like, and you could get as they say, like even a 40 plus person or something, 50 plus person who doesn't even know that there's an NI Music Prize or that it happens every year. And if it's on UTV or something, and they flick past the viewing, as Stu says, they'll go, "Oh, NI Music Prize, music from here, whatever," and they could flick on and they could listen to like a Kit Philippa or a Kieran Lavery or something, which does kind of like more relaxed, kind of laid back music, if you know what I mean. And I just feel like why what else is gonna be on at that time? That day that Northern Ireland Music Prize is live in Ulster Hall or wherever it's taking place, what else is going to be like? It's going to be like some sort of like show about like the country, or we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. There was like a
country
thing about,
file.
yeah, there was like a thing about like showing people around like farms or something. Like,
Yeah.
why not
country
put
file.
the Northern Ireland Music Prize on TV?
Because you know what's crazy? The time that's on, and the people that are watching TV, that's exactly the programs they want to watch.
Yes,
Yeah, fair.
it's definitely part of the problem.
I just think it's even regardless of age. Like, I wouldn't say it's just because of a certain age group, because I don't even think that matters. I just think it's more like
No.
it's
Yeah,
the
no, I'm
it's the
just sort of
searching it
saying, like-
out type deal where it's like, the NI Music Prize is on. We know about it. The people that are on it know about it. Their fans know about it. And it's like, what about the regular public? If I was to go and ask somebody of my own age that I know isn't involved in the music scene, they probably don't know that it actually happens. But
Yep.
if it came on TV, there's a better chance of them accidentally seeing it. It's never going to get recommended to them on YouTube. Like, it's not like the live stream's going to be there and it's going to pop up and alert them because they don't subscribe to the thing. You know what I mean? You don't have to subscribe to TV. I don't know. I'm just saying there's probably a
Could be
better
a red button
probability.
feature, but you don't get red button on.
But this is
Red
the
button.
thing, like if it's on TV and stuff as well, it'll probably be promoted in the local newspapers coming up to the time and everything. You have it in a TV guide where, like, if anybody has like Sky and everything, you have people like recording or setting reminders and everything else, which yes, you can kind of do on YouTube too. But if you're not, there are people that don't use YouTube as much as we are completely ingrained in YouTube and go to it like day in, day out. to me, Northern Ireland music is missing fans by not having that on TV. And like, I mean, YouTube is where pretty much everybody goes, but still, like, TV is, I feel like, it gives it a higher level again. It legitimizes it even more. If
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
what.
mean.
Yeah, that's what I
People
meant
take
from
it even
before.
more
People want
serious.
the-
Yeah.
People want the legitimate. They just want, oh, we're on TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I get where you guys are coming from. I don't really feel that from TV anymore. Like, I don't really think that's a thing. But it for me, it's just more of the fact that, like, the internet is so accessible, but that it's also so saturated. Where it's like, you know, how are you meant to find that? Like, if you don't follow that, how would you ever find that? That's just like somebody who is. I'm trying to think of something else that I don't really care about, but some sort of massive conference that happens every single year for some sort of topic that I don't really give a shit about, and people being like, I can't believe you haven't heard of that. Oh, it's on YouTube every year. All you have to do is search for fucking, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that I don't know.
It's
I'm
like,
really bad at thinking of random things off the top of my head.
It's like TV from a few years ago. It's like, oh, remember, like, you hear your parents and stuff go, oh, remember when there was only 4 channels? Yeah, and then there was 505.
Yeah,
like,
it's fine.
Obviously the internet's a much bigger scale, but
I know, and but that's the thing, is people still scroll through like the same old 5 anyway. Which is why it's like, because it, you know, ITV goes local to UTV, then it's like, oh, what a good chance to be like, well, it's not on everywhere on ITV, because yeah, of course, not everyone's gonna care about Northern Ireland music, but surely the people in this country, if they see on UTV on a late Friday or Saturday night Northern Ireland Music Prize, and they're like,
definitely,
I like music, it
bring
would
a couple of
intrigue
extra-
people.
Yeah.
And
I think that's
you know,
the long and short
potentially
of
get
it. Whatever
fans from
the
there.
whatever the reason or whatever the thinkings, like what we think is the positive or why, I think we're all in agreement that, like, it should be on TV. It should have been on TV already.
Yeah.
It's great that it's ventured into streaming, and I really cross my fingers that they keep that up for this year. But yeah, like, if there's anybody out there that hears us that can, like, make that happen in any way, it's like it should definitely also be on TV as well as streaming. And I just don't understand what, like, we have the channels there, and there's
We got
less
the
important
channels,
stuff, I
baby.
think.
We got the channels.
Less important stuff that's shown.
yeah.
He's done miracles
Maybe.
on me. I can't stop. Right. I think it's time for the shout out segment. Shout out segment. Alright. It's time for the shout outs. Right, we gotta start with the one, the only, Wynona Bleach. New single out, Drag. We built up so much anticipation for this, and it totally paid off. This is another single from the upcoming debut album from Wynona Bleach called Moonsoak, and it probably should have been out by now, but it's been pushed back because of COVID. They want to do it right. Recorded in Portugal, with Bill Ryder Jones from a little band called The Coral. He produced it, I believe. And yeah, man, I mean, it's just it sounds amazing. Like, I don't really know what else to say about Wynona Bleach at this point. It's just like they have this Smashing Pumpkins, like, 90s grunge aesthetic to their songs, but it's also like super, like, power pop or something like that. You know, it's like it's bubblegum on top. Like, that's why the
genres did you just come up with that?
I know, but I feel like the name very well
yeah.
describes what they sound like. I mean, they have
Does
that
definitely straddle a couple of different genres.
yeah, it's like the Bleach, like, Nirvana album from the 90s, Winona Ryder, who was in all of the movies, and it's just like sort of has that element from it, but it's also very modern. But man, it's just it's
a great song because they recorded it in Portugal. That's why.
Yeah, yeah. You can really hear the Portugal.
Portugal in it. Yeah.
Nope. You can't-
Especially at the end.
Especially at
The
the end. See if
atmosphere.
you, see if you listen
to
closely.
This is when the Portugal kicks in.
Yeah. Hear that? Yeah, that was it. That was it. That was the minute. That was it sounded humid. And then just as if they weren't doing enough stuff, there's a band called Virgins, and they're releasing a single called Vows on the 20th of August, and it is featuring Johnny Woods from Wynona Bleach, and he's gonna play bass on that song, or he did play bass on it, and engineered it, I believe. So, yeah, he's all over the place. Johnny usually plays guitar in Wynona Bleach, and he's tracked a lot of songs for them and engineered stuff and produced it before. So yeah, be exciting to hear what these guys come up with. Virgin's Vows, 20th of August. Couple other little shout out songs that I've been listening to. I got on to a band called Soda Blonde. Only heard of them recently. They have an album called Small Talk. Super enjoying that. It's like, I should have written down descriptions for this. I don't know. They kind of give me like I don't know. There's like an 80s element to it. I know I always go with decades rather than actually telling you what it sounds like, but I don't know. There's something like.
It's still very descriptive.
I guess so. I mean, there's synths. I feel like whenever you say it's an 80s vibe,
Yeah.
there's synths in it. I don't know, but it's very, like, extremely chilled out to drive to. Like, I was obviously listening to it in the car, and I currently have a really nice courtesy car that I don't want to give up again. So, like, between the
what'd you get?
sunshine, my Vauxhall Astra courtesy car, 2019, very new, very, very slick. Me just driving, loving my life in this thing in those sweet summer days. Soda Blonde, very good soundtrack to that. Small Talk is the album, just out recently. Go and listen to that. Miles McCormick, double single thingamajig came out recently. One Day and The River Rises are the two tracks. One Day, very much like, it plays more on that Irish folk sort of side that Miles does in his music, but The River Rises is kind of my favorite one. There still is that like Irish folkiness, but it almost, I don't know, the guitars are beautiful on that song. I don't know, it makes me think of that part in Red Dead Redemption of like just riding a horse like down to Mexico or something. I don't know, it's like a traveling song. I could very much see that. But Miles McCormick, The River Rises would be the one I'd go and check out there. I think that's a great song. And I released a music video for a song called Beach. That's not Bleach.
You did.
And like not Wynona Beach
Beach.
or Bleach.
Son of
Don't-
a beach.
Yeah, life is a beach. Don Maple Beach music video out now. It's not on streaming services because it's I'm going full Kanye on you. There's only a video at the minute because it's not it's got to blend into the album a little bit more, but it's good enough to release as a music video. So yeah, go and check that out. It's on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this, it'll just be
Stu's
right there on
first-
that channel.
His first live date is booked for the end of August. He's hired out the Odyssey to play the song over the speakers.
I will be living there for a while.
First
the belt.
person to dare go in the Odyssey after all the COVID patients in there.
Oh yeah, right enough. Yeah, I never really thought about that. Of just like, if there's a concert on the Odyssey, I was like, ew, so many vaccinations happened here. Like, yeah, gross. No, thank you. You're just finding needles under the seats for like. I don't know what I meant. I didn't get my vaccination there, so I really can't imagine what it is. I just say I don't know. I like think everyone's sitting in the seats in the arena and somebody's just throwing needles out into the crowd. Maybe that would be a good way to get more people vaccinated, perhaps.
Or just
Perhaps
throw
not.
them in a
It's
bath
like-
of
it's like
syringes, like
those-
Saw.
It's like those gigs whenever they like release the the balloons from the ceiling, but instead they just have needles. So they load up the whole Odyssey, and everybody sits in the seats, and then they just drop them from the ceiling.
Ew.
And if you get 2, you're done. You don't have to come back again.
Oh my god.
That's how it works.
Ugh. Sorry, just envisioning that and want to throw up a little. Any shout outs from my boys? From you boys? Not my boys, that's weird.
My boys, didn't Sarah McCready perform something live earlier on this week? I'm just trying to think of it.
You know what she did?
That Douglas Week performance.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't write this down. Actually, yeah. Douglas Week continues. The gift that keeps on giving.
Done an original song or something.
Yeah, and she was performing with
First Breath.
Oh god, Hamilton stars. The name was eluding me there. Yeah, people who are on the Hamilton, the Broadway play, who done music for Douglas Week whenever we originally did it, a few months back. But yeah, there was like a live stream thing, and I think they were doing a little bit more for it. I actually meant to. I only glossed past it. I didn't actually get reading it to see what was happening, but no, the team's still working away with that stuff there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to.
It's cool that thing's still
have a
going.
look at it. Definitely.
They're still promoting the thing. If no one's watched the Lil Nas X video with Jack Harlow, you should do that.
Yeah, that's.
I love the song.
Do you love it? Yeah.
I love that song.
I think it's pretty good. Yeah. I don't. Maybe it'll grow on me more. It's not like I dislike it, but it's just sort of like, it's the same as his last song, the Montero song. I was like, yes, it's all right. He's just, I don't know. He's never been. I just haven't really hooked on to his stuff. Although I love how much of a troll he is. Like, it's so funny.
He's very good.
Like his whole like music video thing was just him playing off the fact that he was going to court for those blood sneakers. Remember when we talked about those?
Out the actual sneakers.
Yeah, so they were like Nike were gonna sue him, and yeah, that's like the whole video is just like him in court, and he's gonna go to prison. But yeah, it's pretty funny video. It's the same way Montero was fucking hilarious whenever he's pole dancing down to hell. That's fucking man, he's funny.
Just off the top of my head. You should watch the Young Thug Tiny Desk.
Yeah,
I think Travis Barker's on.
Travis.
He's
Barker.
on one song anyway.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
another. I can't remember who the other drummer was, but that was a very cool thing to watch. I like the Tiny Desks. Tiny Desks are really underappreciated. Same as that thing, Colors.
Like Colors is good too. I love Tiny Desk. It's kind of like my favorite. It's just you usually see a different side of people's performances.
Last week there was Vince Staples one, which that album I'm still listening to. I don't need Kanye.
I need him.
Child's album came out. That's a really good album. Yeah. So that's it for music. I could talk video games all day, but that's it for music.
He has done miracles on me. I keep losing the key every time. He's done miracles on me.
You need that Kanye auto-tune on.
He's done miracles on me. That's my auto-tune. He's done miracles on me. Live auto-tune. Yeah, look, that's it. That's another episode. Another one in the bag. Episode 57 is completed. We did it. We did it, everyone.
Hopefully stuff happens, because with nothing happening, it's very hard to talk about stuff.
Oh yeah, there's dry episodes for sure. There's dry episodes, man.
Not being able to go anywhere, it's very hard to talk about stuff.
I know. Totally. Kanye just keeps giving me content. Giving me life. Giving me miracles on me. Oh, praise Jesus, everyone. I think we should all pray at the end of this podcast. Bow our heads in prayer. Dear Jesus, we ask you to, with all your great power and all your great glory and in all the miracles you've done in your many years, that you released this album, and you release it on the day, the most glorious day of all, the 6th of August. It's a special day, I guess, probably. I don't know. Probably means something to you. But, bless the Mercedes Benz Arena, sacred holy land of Atlanta, and keep doing your miracles, baby. Baby Jesus.
He's a miracle zombie.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
What?
No?
No, you gotta rewrite that. That's not
Alright.
good.
Isaiah Rashad's album comes out on Friday.
Yes. I'm up for that.
No Kendrick on the track lists
You
anywhere.
just interrupt my fucking
Cares
prayer,
about
dude.
Kanye? There's an
You
actual
just
album coming out.
interrupt my fucking prayer, dude. I was getting religious up in here, and you just fucking interrupted my prayer, dude. He's not doing miracles on you, I tell you that. Don't do miracles on Andy. Yeah, Isaiah Rashad. Burn. What's it called? Burning down the house?
The
No,
house-
that's
the
Talking
house is
Heads.
burning.
The house is burning. He kind of just flipped that one around then.
Yeah, no, I thought there was going to be maybe there is a hidden Kendrick thing. I doubt it, but maybe.
Maybe he's doing like a uncredited thing. Maybe he'll be on it somewhere. Very small role. Yeah, I think it's kind of weird that he's not in there somewhere.
In
Lucy's on it.
On what? Sorry.
Isaiah
On
Rashad's
Isaiah
album.
Rashad.
Oh yeah.
Have you
J-Rock's on it.
have you guys like listened to? I was obsessed with it at the time that it came out. The Sun's Trade, that album that kind of blew him up, and Kendrick's stuff on that song is incredible. It's so good. I hope he's kind of on there, but they're maybe holding it back because everybody's just like waiting for anything new Kendrick dropping.
I don't think he will be. I think it's a good sign though. I think it shows that he
Stand up on his own. Yeah.
I think he's busy doing his own thing. You know, I genuinely think that is what's happening. But he might be waiting for the dust to settle on everything else going on, like the Kanye stuff, the Drake stuff. It's like there's all these huge records dropping or rumored to be dropping, and he's like, I just lay in the shadows.
The Kanye West album that's not Kanye West, the Kendrick album that might be the music version of Cyberpunk. Please be good.
Please be good. Please be good. Well, I don't know. I think it's good as well because we don't know what the track list for the Kanye West record is, but at one stage they were saying that Baby Keem was on a song, who is Kendrick's cousin or I can't remember. We talked about this before. It's either his cousin or his nephew. I forget now. But he was like mentoring him, and they were working a lot together. So.
You'll hear Kendrick on a verse.
So that means nothing. It's like I'm getting suspicious of absolutely nothing there. So if his nephew is potentially on the new Kanye record, that means we still don't know. We still don't know anything more. Don't ever let me become a detective, guys. No matter how badly I want to, don't let me do it. Don't let them take me in. I've tried. Hold me back while I run the detective school.
Dick Tracy's school.
Right, okay. I think this is one of these things where it's like, when are they gonna end the show? And it's now.
Billy, did I say Billie Eilish was coming out Friday
For
too?
fuck's sake, Andy. You interrupted my prayer, and now you're covered out with all the content. I'm trying to end the show.
I don't know. All right.
I don't like
if
Billie Eilish.
you don't sign off your prayer, it doesn't come true.
Beer. I already fucked it up. Beer?
Beer spirits.
That's the sign of an alcoholic. I meant to say deer. Beer, sweet baby. Jesus. We pray to you and all your great bipolar wisdom, and we ask you to do miracles on us. Live. Stop living in the Mercedes Benz Stadium, please. People have to do other things there, and they don't want a guy that looks like he's gonna rob the place just walking around with tights on his head. It's not a good look, Jesus. You gotta stop living there. Finish the album. Release Mike Dean in all of your glory. Forever and ever. Amen. The great Chicago in the sky. Thanks for listening to Six Set Bro. This was an episode, and it's finished. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the podcast on Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You find the Distant Soundwaves playlist, also on Spotify. The link is in the bio of our Instagram. You can follow the Instagram too, or the Facebook, all the socials. We will see you next Wednesday, and